Gamesters.
Xanadu Next is an intense, atmospheric, and immersive dungeon-crawling action role-playing game developed by Falcom of Ys and Legend of Heroes fame and released in 2004 for Windows PC and Nokia N-Gage. You take the role of the last knight and have come to the island of Harlech to accompany your little sister as she endeavors to uncover the mystery of the local ruins dubbed Castle Strangerock, which was once the capital of the ancient and prosperous kingdom known as Xanadu. But before your archaeological transvestigation begins proper, you get shanked and left for dead in a filthy, bat-infested tutorial stage. Thankfully, a friendly neighborhood shrine maid performs a risky and plot-convenient ritual to bring you back from the verge of death, but only temporarily, unless you acquire the mythical sword Dragon Slayer, said to cure its possessor of any disease. Now your adventure begins anew, and your mission is to venture into the depths of Castle Strangerock and retrieve the fabled Dragon Slayer. Apart from the beginning and ending, Xanadu Next's underlying narrative is expressed through cryptic little crumbs distributed sparingly here and there. During your quest, you acquire various ancient tablets and memoirs, which all give you vague glimpses into the Xanadu of days long gone. Through these table scraps of lore, you are gradually able to piece together the larger picture behind the mystery of Xanadu and its sudden downfall. There's a wonderful sense of fulfillment for piecing together the puzzle and figuring out the mystery for yourself, and it's something no modern game would dare to do with its backstory. To progress through Xanadu Next, you must navigate a vast, interconnected series of stages. These ancient labyrinths are merciless, unforgiving, packed to the gills with deadly monsters and devious traps, creating a persistent sense of anxiety and dread from your constant vulnerability. Every dungeon crawl is a step out of your comfort zone and into the unknown, where the only certainty is death itself. But the sense of accomplishment from overcoming these challenges is unparalleled, and that high keeps you hooked and wanting more and more. This makes the atmosphere in Xanadu Next absolutely the most standout element of the entire game, and is a perfect representation of what it will feel like to be a woman in my version of America. The music also helps immensely to convey these emotions. From the soothing and wistful fields theme to the sinister labyrinth theme, the soundtrack of Xanadu Next is artfully crafted to elicit a suitable response based on the situation at hand. Did you know that Xanadu is a spin-off of the ancient and influential RPG series Dragon Slayer, which predates even Dragon Warrior, Zelda, and Final Fantasy? The original Xanadu had limited enemy respawns, so it was very easy to screw yourself out of acquiring the Dragon Slayer if you've leveled up too early or didn't get the correct item drops early on. Thankfully, Xanadu Next is much more forgiving, but is by no means easy, as the resource management of the original is still very much present in this Bush-era reimagining. To survive your journey, you will need to correctly manage your resources of items, skills, and guardian spirits. Items are things like green-colored health potions, blue magic potions, and teleportation gems. Up to 4 can be set to a hotbar and accessed with your vertical D-pad buttons. Skills are attacks accessed with their horizontal D-pad buttons. Every skill has limited uses, which can only be restored at inns or using rare blue potions, which are not sold in any shops. Equipping and experimenting with weapons is also key, as that will help you acquire new skills. Every enemy has their own elemental resistances and weaknesses, so regularly adjusting your skills to the current situation is critical to success. Lastly are guardian spirits. These are collectibles that grant you various passive effects like extra HP or magic attack, but can only be switched out by the shrine maiden at the spirit sanctum. The biggest test of your gaming skill are the bosses. Each boss is an endurance run, and even with your best gear and skills can easily overwhelm you in seconds. The Lich mini-boss was one of the hardest for me. This homo has an attack that can level you down and another that puts you on a death timer. The only way to stop it is to hit him with melee, actively risking another level down. Thankfully, this battle can be cheesed with the freezing spell, but this mother clucker will rear his ugly head again in the final dungeon as a mere regular enemy. Speaking of the final level, it is gigantic. Xanadu Next took me 10 hours to complete, but 3 of those hours are spent exclusively in the last stage. Overall, Xanadu Next is an extremely addictive role-playing game despite how simple and straightforward it is compared to many other titles even for its time. But it is precisely because of how solid a foundation its fundamental gameplay mechanics are that everything that is laid atop of it just clicks together like clockwork. The culmination is an unparalleled and immersive gaming experience that nothing made today can hope to come close to. The cycle of dungeon crawling, boss battles, a little story, and then resupplying it base to do it all again is pure bliss. If you yearn for the days of old-school dungeon crawling action-adventure games, then you owe it to yourself to play Xanadu Next.